Meteor holding them back, dancing around the utility, only able to find a little bit of success, but it might have been enough. With 10 seconds left, the spike out of reach. Wood has to try to scoop it up. They have to get active. They've got to do so soon. Slowing things down a little bit, only finds one. Can Riens be a hero once more? The jump spot not gonna land. Munchkin on the swing as Gen G gets 6.
Another great setup from Gen G. That was that paranoia I was speaking about. Delays the flood, connects onto multiple members. It allows Karen to go wide. Oh, this was crazy.
Little fadeaway.
Yeah, that was a hard read on just the timing. He was gonna shoot no matter what, regardless if Patatek peaks or not. Why not?
Karen handled that so well. I mean, all the utility before him, you know, you've got Omen TPing top box, you've got Han over your shoulder, very calmly selecting the right targets and then adjusting. And this, Dre, this is a surprise to me because that's the second time out on the side of Heretics. And it's been burned before we hit the 10th round.
They understand that this game has completely slipped away. This is an attack-sided map. But then again, I mean, you think about last map, you think about 6 rounds that Gen G got on their attacking side, that's more than favorable to close it out, and they couldn't. So it's not over yet. If Heretics can do the same and salvage the rest of this half, going into the defense, they might have a shot. But right now, Gen G, they didn't even have to invest a lot of those ults into that round. They've been sitting on these for quite a bit of time.
It's a little insurance padding.
Yep.
A little rainy day type beat.
Dexter's one away from another showstopper. So he's going to use 2 ults potentially in a half where nobody else on his team has used even one. I think maybe Lakia used 1 fade ult as well. The only other player to commit an ult.
6 rounds in a row, momentum fully the way of the number 2 seed from the APAC region in hot pursuit of their first championship ever.
The back and forth has been immense, and let's see if this little combo right here, Nate Tether, can be even greater.
Oh, it hurts! It hurts so much! Texture gets 4. That's a showstopper online for sure. Boo will get his 2, but what a trap.
We've seen so many teams try to go for that, and it never works.
Not like that.
That worked to perfection. Oh my goodness.
One enemy
that might be one of the most satisfying images I've seen. So fired up, the pillow fell from the back of his chair.
Grenade. Placing swamp grenade.
They're alive now. 4 ults still. Lakia is a little bit off of his.
Yeah, almost 5. But for both sides, 4 ults apiece.
Heretics have to make a stand here. They have to find a way to punch back.
The problem is Gen G have been so disruptive. I mean, Heretics, apart from the pistol round, they haven't really had a chance to even touch a site. And Lakia, I mean, he tagged up. Patatek, they're very low, 6 HP.
He had no choice but to shoot back.
The fear of the Odin.
It's real.
Boo just sprinting out of there. He wants nothing to do with it. Interesting choice to change up the pace and pick up a rifle in that moment for Lakia. Proactivity, front B. Rocket for rocket.
The first 55 have gone without a kill, but now Wood on the swing and Munchkin on the kill. Texture over the top. Benji Fishy had nowhere to go. He takes him down with him, but the damage has been done. Oh, this position is so difficult as well.
30 seconds left.
I mean, if they try to commit B, they have to be concerned about what's on the other side. Boo falls. Lakia holding the line, waiting for the swing, and they waltz to their death. Patatek not able to fight back. Rien's worse for wear. Too many targets to choose from. Lakia will get Gen G to 8.
Solo anchoring the A site from the start of the round to the end of the round. Getting the best in the spam duel, and then closing it all out. Benji, fortunate to connect there on a texture. That animation of the rocket could be so damning. But it funneled everybody into Lakia. And he closed it out, sitting at 9-4-9. Texture, the man I spoke about, stepping up huge after a bit of a lackluster performance on Ascent. And they're setting the tone, they're changing the pace, full aggression through C.
They have to go fast, they have to go aggressive, because time is short. Woot popping the rocket. And again, Gen G, as you mentioned, hot to trot. 3 on the prowl. Benji Fishy considering investing the ult, waits for just a moment as Rians gets the spike down. You imagine the ults are gonna come through in bunches. There's the first. Now Meteor will have his along with Benji Fishy. Hang on, folks, this round is gonna be insane.
The nade does not connect.
Where's Bugon? He TP'd behind them. You have to suspect that he's there. There's no way you disrespect that. There's no way you ignore it. Meanwhile, the push forward, Munchkin gets caught. 4 players detained. And Boo pushing forward. Genji gets alive at the right time. Boo gets 1, but that's all it'll be. Genji a 9-3 half.
What an answer back. This series just keeps on giving.
I mean, they got away with 9 rounds in a row. Lakia, the easiest kills of his life, and possibly the most meaningful. For him to get those there was perfect. So a 9-3 half, the way of Genji, trying to push us to split. We've got another interview standing by. Right now, Mika's hanging out with Life from FPX to get his thoughts on what he's seeing around him.
Hey guys, we have another halftime interview for you, and guess who's here?
Yo, 大家好，我是 Formula Life. Hello guys, I'm Formula Life.
Live, thank you so much for being here. Now you went up against Team Heretics and Gen G. What is your opinion of both of these teams?
其实现在来福都跟今天的2支队伍 GNG 和 The Heretics 都已经交手过了，那你对这2支队伍作何评价呢？
我觉得 GNG 它是一个战术非常充足的队伍，以及教练组非常强劲。然后 TH 的话，我觉得是偏个人实力一点，然后战术储备可能没有那么充足。
I think for GNG, actually they got a lot of strategy and really strong coach stuffs. And for TH, I think they play like powerful individuals, maybe not that much strategy compared to GNG, maybe.
Who do you think is going to be MVP of this series?
你觉得这张地图的 MVP 会是谁呢？
我觉得这张地图 MVP 会是 TH 的 Ryans。
I think it's gonna be Ryans from the Heretics.
Oh, that's very, very spicy, and I totally agree. But do you have a special message for our audience?
有没有什么特别的话想要对我们的观众们说的呢？
我想说大家电子竞技的魅力就在于翻盘，翻盘的游戏才有意思。我们一起为 TH 加油！
With some translation, we're gonna send it back to our casters and we're gonna get back into the game.
Thank you so much, Mika. Heretics walked into Lotus so close to what they've come to accomplish, to what they came here to do. And yeah, they're hungry, but the guttural growl of a tiger humbles hunger. And that's exactly what Gen G have done.
Texture and Lakia wreaking havoc amongst Team Heretics.
Keep it cool. That's how you survive.
14-8 for the duelist. The hour has struck and the man has appeared. And not a moment too soon. Gen G on the attack. A 3-2 split right now. And Rians is gonna spot a little bit of what's potentially waiting on the other side. You have to assume there's more there. As the panel gets broken, the Suck will hang on to Texture for just a moment, but now all eyes turning towards B. Rians has joined the fold, but it's just him and Benji Fishy here for now.
Will be a free bomb plant for Gen G. But Heretics, they've been so good on retaking. And they have the time, they're so patient with it. But there wasn't a lot of utility invested from the side of Gen G themselves, so they have a counter.
A smoke towards heaven and a paranoia towards the panel. Patatech falls.
The nade as well.
The flash almost makes it easier, and Texture's gonna drop him. Gen G on the precipice of another pistol. Texture gets 3 as Gen G get to 10.
And they actually bought Texture that ghost. Someone on the side of Gen G bought him that ghost, so he had light armor. They understand that he's feeling it. They understand that he's on fire.
I mean, give the tools to your stars to succeed.
He didn't even need it.
बाप रे बाप.
And that's exactly what Gen.G do.
Oh.
17 and 8. Upgrades to a Phantom and armor.
Maybe.
Satchel out.
Giving full support to the main duelist of their squad. Understanding how important it is for him to get going. Something they couldn't figure out on the last map. And now, Woot punished by 3 sets of utility. Meteor.
Pushing his way forward, he got his one. But Heretics again, seeming like they'll end this round on just a whimper. What a shot. So much for whimper, but it's still just not enough. You still have 2 rifles you have to reckon with.
Cover going out.
There are sheriffs on Heretics, and we've seen them do some funny things with these guns, but what was that?
The joke is all Gen.G's now.
I'll find you.
They're the ones hitting the punchline. Gen.G get to 11. Heretics will be on a gun round. And it goes without saying, if they want to close this series here, it has to start with this round. They have to win this.
The replay of that util bomb. Insane.
One enemy remaining.
Feels good moment for Karon.
He hasn't really had to do a ton.
And look at the buy from Gen.G as well. Everybody has a gun that can be very deadly. A 3-1-1 split. Slow C default, but a fast B clear from Meteor. Playing with complete confidence right now. And he's about to face Woot head-to-head, takes him out.
Woot barely stood.
The last 3 rounds of this half, he's been just getting obliterated. No chance whatsoever. Headshots, utility, you name it.
Gen.G are gonna try to rotate back A. Who's pretty close by. As soon as the smoke goes down though and the wall goes up, he's gotta understand, yeah, there's presence on the other side. He will find safe passageway.
Cover going out.
But the problem is, A side is completely open. If he gets pushed off of this door and bomb goes down.
No, that was the big problem.
What?
That was a safety he had to find.
Maybe Gen.G overthinking things, but they might actually catch Benji Fishy out of transition. He can't connect. The trade.
He got his one. Almost gets a second. It's messy though.
They're going back again.
The triple pump fake.
Around the world. I mean, they've touched spawn like 4 or 5 times. It feels like. Actually only 3, but.
Patrick Rian's in a high-low. Lakia falls. They're fighting back at this thing. They've gotten it down to a 1v2 with 13 seconds left. They don't have the spike. Munchkin has to go, and he has to go now. Even if he gets his kill, surely. Oh! Oh my gosh! Munchkin! With X-ray vision!
How the hell did he know?
All he had to do was survive. But that's much easier said than done. Much easier contemplated than completed. Unreal. And so Gen.G get to map point. No real interest in slowing the clock down. Really no option for Heretics to do so anyway. 1 ult to their name. 4 Guardians and then a Phantom for Rians. Gen.G have obliterated Heretics on Lotus.
Careful here.
They might obliterate them again on this C site. We're gonna go fade ult for fade ult. The deciding factor might be that showstopper from Texture. Just a little bait of the door. Drags a player away from C.
Rian's with his ult at the ready. There's plenty of defense here. What's the Q? What's the go button? Smoke goes out. There it is. That's all it'll be. And that's going to cause the rotate. They're not even really interested in sticking around. They tap the door. They're going B, and it's going to be a foot race. Pat attack forced to sit back and wait. Not able to pass the lob at his feet. And look at Karen, aggressive on the swing. A bold, perhaps reckless approach. But he bides his time, he's patient with it. Understanding he can play this as slowly as he wants, or he can speed up. Rians falls. Oh, they're all crumbling. They're all crumbling. Heretics tried to build fences, but Genji interested in digging tunnels. Boo, over the top. He gets another. Heretics not done yet.
These rounds are absolutely ridiculous. Almost a 5v3 for Genji. And Boo is the savior. Lakia, he did so much in the 1v2 up there that allows him to buy time and make this go down to a 1v1. He just couldn't close it out, but he had such a good chance. Boo just stripped it away from them.
The real problem here is the lead that Genji have is,
Boo just stripped
it's
it
so
away from them. Yeah, it's a little too late right now for Heretics.
The real problem here is the lead that Genji have. But if you're Heretics, you never say die.
Yeah, it's a little too late right now for Heretics. It's always winnable.
But if you're Heretics, you never say
Mindset
die.
you have to have as a professional player. That's why they've gotten this far.
See the spam through the orb. Benji Fishy keeping him back.
That's why they've gotten this far.
Still plenty to go, but they're taking this step by step. The orb. Benji Fishy keeping him back.
That's why they've gotten this far.
Munchkin spotting one, taking the step back. They're finally dealt with their sentinel.
Oh, that connects.
And the Prowler to confirm presence. Munchkin has it, Munchkin staying alive. Finally falling. Rian's space behind him. Well, that's a good way for those two. Bouncing back to the song anyway. Working out. Yeah, they know he's there.
Yeah, he does. It's going to force Reeves to have to swing.
Heretics just right. I don't know if they have a choice. They kind of have to go here. And they've been baited into their deaths.
Swing.
Boo's left in a 1v2. 85 HP, no armor. Can he prolong Lotus? They kind of have to go here. Split on the cards. And they've been baited into their deaths. Quietly moving forward. Can he prolong Lotus? Like that, Genji finds safe passageway. Tucking behind the wall and staying alive. Genji obliterate on Lotus. And Dre, the old saying goes is that every single banger ends on split. And the dream of every grand final is to go 5 maps. Lo and behold, we have everything we could possibly want. Stay around. This one's gonna be good. We'll see you guys next.
Yo, what the f***ing guys? What the f*** are you doing, guys? What? What the f*** doing, guys? Hey, Patipe, are you nervous?
Now we up. Talked to guy yesterday, said it's more on the way. I done made a lot of money and it's more on the way. I done got a couple plaques and it's more on the way. I put a lot of people on and it's more on the way. Lego popping up. If life a marathon, I got no choice but run amok. I've been sliding on these tracks, my haters need a salt truck. And it still won't melt the ice, and it's black. And I'm back, you talking down, what is that? Bro, you act like we ain't blessed or something. God ain't flexing something. If you want me on your set or something, cut a check or something. We've been bringing dreams to life like Freddy Krueger, we ain't done. I've been moving on this blind faith from staring at the sun. Just when it sound like they don't see it, let alone what it feel like. Dog, why you worried about them? Go get your own life. Counting everybody pockets like you work for Levi. Oh my, that won't get you nowhere.
I came way too far from hiding, seeking from the police. But it came way too far, my gang was sitting in the nosebleed. Praying down on my knees and got back up, we in the floor seats. Yeah, looking at full court games, like of course we had to go stack some full course meals, now it's more on the way. Why would I stress about these bills? I got more on the way. I'm a stellar winning politician, more on the way. Pull up deep, I'm never solo and it's more on the way. I done put a lot of people sleep alone, ain't got no thank you. I ain't saying I'm God or nothing, but I'm Allen Iverson. When I talk about crosses, I ain't trying to break your ankles. Tell him I've been stepping for so long, I got cankles. Wanna make me mad, try to come tell me what Jesus can't do. Make me mad. Well, you better be glad you ain't no villain, Jesus saved you. Baby glad. Everybody used to be like, what's that smell? Jesus bathed you. And the real ones always recognize me cause I'm fake proof. Every time I'm lit, I don't get bit cause I'm snake proof. Had to tell that sin, I can shake you. And I told Goliath, it's a 30, I can take you. I done came too far from living dirty.
Ayy, gave me no respect. Lonely on me neck. Zeros on the check. What did y'all expect? Been round, homies kept it holy from the lobby to the penthouse. Blessings coming ODI. I need a list now. Cause it's more on the way. Made a lot of hits and it's more on the way. I done caused a lot of fits and it's more on the way. Yeah. Oh, you like that? It's more on the way. Yeah. OMG, look what God did. 9 to 5 was putting in the work when I was jobless. Couldn't get the Ray-Bans and it hurt, but now my optics. Can't believe I take a look around, they sending options. Yeah, God bless me, I know that. Had to take the whole city, put it on my whole back. Gotta take the bros with me, I cannot hold back. And not until like 4 laps, got Jesus, peace, no Kodak. I'm moving like it's foreign me, they try to close the door on me. But like the chorus said, they start imploring for some more of me. If we back on that board and I be Jordan when he's scoring. It's a Mount Florence, still I play the tortoise, yeah. Story.
Billboard albums back to back, just thought that you should know that. But I got riches in his name that couldn't fit on no plaque. Rest in peace to the corny rap, cause I could not support that. He snatched me out of Proverbs 5 and I could never go back. Left the label, did it indie and it's more on the way. Festival inside my city and it's more on the way. Worship God.
After that tremendous performance on Lotus, we are heading to a Map 5. This grand final is gonna go the distance. I am your host, Yingsun. I'm back here once again with Josh, Mimi, and Kakuka. Who would have thought that we were gonna get to this point?
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Anyone know? I thought that Gen G looked a little out of it after that map. Team Heretics had so much momentum behind them to recover, but on Lotus, this map continues to be such a stronghold. They have such great ideas on their defense, and they've proven some mental resiliency to take us to map 5.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those great ideas we saw as well, Josh. I knew you wanted to talk about the way that Gen G were able to funnel Heretics into places that they wanted them to be.
Yeah, it all starts here, where they demand respect to their A fight here, and you can see Heretics never could get out of this spot with these 3 players fighting for this. And so once Heretics realize, like, oh wow, they can't go A in the beginning of the round, they start going towards C, and they run into Meteor and Karen's defense there. So this is a round where they got stuffed at A, went back to B, and now this is when Heretics try to force their way into their full setup at C.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so potent between these guys, right? They have so many different mollies and also are almost always stalling enough time to get a guy like Texture on board as well to help out in that defense. It got them such a massive lead that it almost felt like a formality to close out on their attack as well.
Yeah, and Kakuga, let's talk about Lakia. And Lakia and Solar as well, because they were there from the beginning. They were the OGs on the international stage.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the amazing plays that we have seen just in this map, all this coordination was thanks to Lakia and Texture. Those combos that we were seeing being so effective time and time again. All those A-holds and, you know, all the progression from these 2 people coming into today is massive.
And the history is there for these 2. All the way back in Reykjavik, Solo was a player, Lakia was with him along his side, and they made it to top 3, but they fell apart at that point, went down, and then Lakia kind of disappeared from the top for a while, was benched by DRX, had a stint down in Tier 2, but now he's back on a top team, made it to a final in Madrid, and has a chance to hoist a trophy now in Map 5 in Shanghai, especially if he can keep up a performance like he had on Lotus.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see it because this guy has been around for so long. Like Mimi said, he's been grinding. He had his opportunity in the beginning of the game. We thought he was going to do huge things at DRX. It wasn't meant to be. But this is the thing. Looking on the other side of this, there is similar stories as well. Josh, your boy Panatek was talking about how he was considering retirement before he joined Team Heretics. And what a story it would be for him if they're able to bounce back on Map 5.
I think it'd be insane. And in their final map, they made a player swap, a role swap with Patatek onto the Viper and Woot on Duelist. So I think that this will come down to the defensive play calling. I thought the defensive play calling from Gen G was excellent. Heretics needs to do the same thing here.
Yeah, I think Split is going to go crazy. Now, we haven't seen Gen G play this map in a while because the last time that they played it was in the final in Pacific. And this map was the one that made them the second seed. Losing this last map on that last best of 5 that they played turned them into what we're seeing today. They have a chance to change history today.
So the big question for everyone really, and for Team Heretics facing up against this Gen G team is, what can you expect? They were playing the double dive comp back in Pacific, but it has been a while, right? Not showing it whatsoever at this event. Do they stick to that same game plan? Do they change something up? It's a real wild card in this map pool, considering how little both teams have put into Split.
And do not forget, we saw Heretics, as Josh was mentioning, changing the roles here and there. Maybe they thought at the beginning that they wanted to go with Paddy on the race, which he had experience playing back in Tier 2, but decided that Wood was better for this suit. Anyway, that was a bit ago. It was against EDG. They haven't played it ever since. Yes, they had a very, very good result, but not that much practice, and I don't think Gen G is going to be the kind of opponent where, you know, it's going to be just easier, especially if we think about the mental of Heretics right now. In that Lotus, they started with 3 rounds in a row, and then Gen G comes back to life and gets all of the rounds on their defense. Right now, their mental cannot be the same as they had when we were back in EMEA on that last map.
Well, let's take a look at Agent Select here and see what we're gonna get. And yeah, what do you guys make of this?
It's a mirror comp.
Yeah.
Both teams are running double lurk. I find that like it's really easy to work attack here, even though there's a lot of defensive agents. The Viper's able to lurk B, Cypher can put some question marks at A. Gen G's gonna have a tough time, I think.
That they may, but Lakia locking in this sky again feels like we might be going back in time a little bit, right?
Yeah.
All the way back to when he was playing this role as the solo initiator when he lost in Reykjavik. He was great on map number 4, but with no recharges on the sky flashes, his util has to be perfectly placed to set texture up for success, and that's the same task on the other side for Riens and Woot. That rookie has got to be incredible in this map 5.
Well, it all comes down to this one final map. The Masters Shanghai Trophy is on the line. For the last time, here's Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. All bangers end on Split. We've got to talk one more time about what it is that they're playing for here. For Heretics, vindication on the other side of Madrid, and perhaps the dawning of a new era of Valorant. We talk so much about how they're the future, and it seems like the future may be now, Dre.
But Gen G, they have a chance to be the first team in APAC to win an international. So much pride on the line from both sides.
And what a story that would be.
And who is going to represent the black and gold the best here?
Both teams looking to clean the skeletons out of their closets to exercise their demons. And what better place than Split to see how it all shakes out. Gen G on the attack side. Mimi was talking about Lakia turning back the time and playing that solo initiator once more. What a legend he was, but it seems like it's Boo who wants to take the spotlight. Traded though, 1 for 1.
Exactly, great trade from Meteor, and that slows the round down. Nothing being used. Now a Skydog committed on the A ramp to get info that Meteor is still here. It does connect. And Woot, he wants to punish. But there's support.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't know that there's support. Oh, there's the surprise. There's more there than you thought.
Yeah, I saw 2 players at the other end right there. That's the cue for Gen G to once more slow the round down. Karen, he already ran up in B main off the start of the round earlier, broke that Cypher cam. Now he's taking all that mid real estate.
A deep smoke, a little cover provided as Gen G venture forth into heaven.
And they even spread. They're making the right read, the right call right now, transitioning to B. It's all up to Benji Fishy in a grand final on the last map.
Can he deliver again? The trip will catch the first. A stumbling block put before Gen G's hopes and dreams. And he still holds the line. He's still here. Is able to find his one. But that's all it'll be with 10 seconds left. Gen G hurried and rushed to try to get the spike down the satchel just a tiny bit off the mark. And success found. Things slow down. Heretics will have an opportunity to rethink how they want to approach this. Avenger fourth. And a different segmented approach. Carrot never saw him, never had a shot at fighting back. Texture and Meteor will crumble, they will fall. Unless Meteor can pull this off on his own, a 1v1. With Ghost in hand, 67 HP. All of the onus is on Pat Attack, and Meteor is able to get the easiest kill of his life. The Red Bull clutch as he gets 4.
4 for the Cypher. Pistol round for Gen.G. Last map of Split, it started with that trade. Boo could have gotten 2, maybe 3. The double swing here, it was too much. Woo, running out of ammo. Nothing left in the chamber. And then the easy cleanup.
You gotta wonder on a bigger scale too, how much is left in the tank for both of these teams. I mean, this has been a marathon. And we thought that it was gonna end short, right? We thought it was gonna be a quick day, but what a gift this series has been.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it earlier on. The resilience from both sides. It's shown like no other. It's been quite the spectacle. As we proceed to this anti-eco, a B main default. No cam being broken though, so a late tap of that from Benji Fishy will give the cue for Heretics to rotate more players towards A. But he's not using it yet.
Like it's an accelerated approach towards the middle of the map.
There it is. Taps the cam, gets info, no one's B main, and the rotation set in. Heretics, although they don't have the gun advantage, they could get ahead of this.
A Thrifty in a situation like this would be ridiculous.
It would be absolutely ridiculous. And there's an Omen flash here as well.
They're ahead of it. They're here, they've arrived. They're gonna try to dig their heels in.
It's a really early nade from Woot.
Do they try to flip back again?
I think they have to, they know.
Oh no, Trey, they're committing. The satchel out, the flash forth, and Texture cracks the side wide open, but Woot's on the counter. Meteor pushing forward. Benji Fishy getting the best of him. But a 1v2 now. Can he upgrade a weapon? I don't think there's anything that he can find. So he's gonna have to push forth with the classic. And he's dropped before he even gets a chance to fight back.
Texture is not slowing down. Perfect satchels in the elbow, catching 2 members off guard of Heretics. Yeah, the stack was there. Yeah, Woot tried his damn best to try to even it out. And they did that, they made it costly.
30 seconds left.
Nice shots from the young gun.
Crispy little one tap from Texture there to close the round. To get 3 to his name, to get 1 step away from his ult. In round 3. Such a ridiculous advantage.
This is that conditioning from the previous round. They can be main control once again. Testing the waters, testing the one way.
That smoke is tough though, man. There's no real way to challenge that.
Yeah, it makes it so awkward. They can see a sliver of you spam where they think you might go.
So they waited out, or at least they tried to. It's refreshed.
Yeah. Good job so far from Heretics denying that rocket. That was Gen.G's plan, and they've thwarted it completely.
You know, Gen.G have more than one attempt at this, though, more than one take. And so they rotate back A. And lo and behold, it would be Benji Fishy who's challenged once more. Trips and cages, cameras, full surveillance.
Here come the lineups. This should get most of the trips. So Benji Fishy, he's gonna have to rely on his cages.
Both cleared with 1 nade, Ridiculous, and now the rollout. Texture getting high ground, trying to find comfort behind the screens and drop Benji Fishy for it. Texture will not be denied. As he finds more, ult online now. I don't know, the Heretics can find a way back into this one, Dre. Not this round. We've seen 5v3s, but it's been a long time.
They're not even going for it. They've conceded. They've thrown in the towel on this round. Texture is an animal. From last map to this map, he's been a rising star.
An attempt at hunting will ultimately net nothing. I can't imagine they'll hit the timings to get there. So it seems like, barring something spicy at the end, well, of course it would be Rian's, wouldn't it? Choosing to swing into that. Whoa, easy now. You want to keep those. He will survive. The weapons will be carried over. And that's a big win for Heretics, given how the rest of that round went.
Yeah. Texter completely obliterating the site players, living here with the satchels over the top, gets the info, predicts the movement of Benji Fishy, and then the follow-up kill onto Woot. Woot just couldn't quite connect those shots. Texture punishes. And that'll put Genji on 3 rounds up. A scrappy buy from Heretics. And it looks like it's going to be a full A hit with that lineup nade again.
They found so much success here, but they do have 4 rifles. There it is, the rocket invested. They're scattering. There was only one here, though. Benji Fishy falls the flash over the top. Meteor trying to play his time right. Gets one for it. Rian's a bullet between his eyes. And Hope sinks away. Another disastrous start for the number 2 seed from EMEA.
And another explosive start for Texture onto that A site. Boo, I mean, he kind of wanted to go for it, but now he can't. That smoke denies any possibilities of getting back into the round. Such a nice read from Gen G, such nice prep to deal with those trips. That nade is clearing out every single one of Benji Fishy's trips. You might see him rotate over towards that B site now or have to use more passive site trips, maybe a nat setup, something of the sort.
Yeah, he has to. He's not getting any value there.
And I mean, Texture had full confidence that that rocket was connecting. That's the level that he's playing at right now. He fires it and he's instantly looking at heaven. I imagine we're getting the replay right here. Look at this. He just knows. You're dead. Already ready for any type of backup. Yeah, Meteor doesn't connect on the first on the Rians, but Munchkin with these cold shots. Nice, precise aim.
Locky is still popping off across the stage as Gen G are up 4 and as Heretics call a timeout. Tough spot to be in if you're Heretics, but I think, yeah, I would imagine a lot of the conversation is how do you get more value out of Benji Fishy? How do you get more value out of his setups and his utility? Because right now, they're getting thwarted and bested by one person.
Yeah, one set of utility. And I mean, there is follow-up utility, don't get me wrong.
Sure, sure.
But it's not even needed. And in a match like this, the last map of the series, it's all or nothing.
What a beautiful trophy. What a beautiful scene. What a beautiful set. And for one of these teams, dreams will be actualized. And for the other, this will be the source of nightmares.
Yeah. The one G, they were fighting their own demons in this actual series. I think they probably thought it was going to be a 3-0 as well. Looking at the map pools, the 2 map advantage that they had.
Nade forward, satchels up, Texture in.
Such a pace.
Forget about the attempt at fighting back. They take it so quickly. Benji Fishy down here. He's got a sheriff, but he has no health. Right off the bat, the Sentinel crumbles.
They're just running Benji Fishy down at every site he's been playing so far. And they're not slowing down whatsoever.
I mean, they have no reason to. No resistance has been met.
Go get it.
That feels like the first real advantage, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's just been tough sledding. Gen G get to 5.
And you spoke about it. What is left in the tank? Heretics really need to dig deep here because Gen G, they've gone the distance before and it didn't go their way. That experience in Madrid, it's showing here.
I mean, it changes teams. It changes players. And let's be perfectly clear, Heretics are no slouch to that as well. Yes, it was on domestic soil, but the lessons that you learn are the same. And they walked away on top.
Another fast rollout. Another sight hit potentially on Benji Fishy.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Meteor, the lurk, was caught.
That's going to cause a speed up from the side of Gen G. They have no info. They have no space.
Yeah, but where do they speed up to? I mean, they still have these trips they have to deal with.
They know
dog
destroyed.
Yeah. There you go. The first one goes down, but you haven't cleared Benji Fishy, not yet. Texture over the top, and Woot drops him. Investing more util as Locky is on the swing, and Patatek's on the green.
Down B.
A response from Heretics.
There are the signs of life. When the IGL steps up big, Boo, getting that pick on a Meteor. That was the start to a snowball in the round itself. Opens up the opportunity for Benji Fishy and Woot to use this Raze rocket.
Spike down B.
Securing the round. And right now for Gen G, you are up 5-1. You've been here before in this series. But when Heretics start winning rounds, it comes in masses. First it's 1, then it's 2, then 3, all of a sudden it's an even score. What can they do to make that not happen? What have they learned?
The conditioning is so nice. They try to invest utility to clear out the trips that aren't there. But Gen G found a little bit of space. Karen over the top. The Guardian Angel for Gen G. Patatek and Benji Fishy are forced to rotate back over to the site, but they're so outnumbered at this point. The spike is planted. The guns are down. Patatek. I mean, I guess the rest of your team has some money. I guess maybe you go for it. Flash in the face, Meteor falls. Benji Fishy getting active, creeping forward, Karen down. But the trade timing is just too nice. Lakia gets his 3 Seekers online as Gen G get another round.
Karen had a wild round right there, Doug. A double TP play. First onto the double box in front B, then behind in rafters. This was ridiculous. This is taking things into your own hands. This is playing to win. No fear at all, no doubt in his play.
There's no room for it. There's just not. Gen G get to 6. But Heretics, they've got a lot to fight back with here. 4 members on light armor, sure, but look at the ults. You can tell for Gen G, the approach has become quickly get to B, try to clear out any Cypher utility that might be there, and then play the rest of the map.
And if you looked at the map earlier, the rotations, I mean, there was Patatek and Woot already ready and willing to come there to the rescue for the anchors on the site. That's how much fear Gen G have put into this team of Heretics. And leaving one here this time to break the info utility, that's going to keep a couple players here. I mean, Woot, he doesn't know what to do. He's jumping back and forth. If you looked at the minimap, he's staying B heaven, and now it's going to be an A hit. The difference maker here is that site trip.
I've got your trail.
Has Benji Fishy one more. Seekers online and invested forward. Patatek had no chance to fight back.
What an entry. And now the map opens up. A counter. Seekers from the side of Heretics, but they don't know what's going on. They have no info.
Texture's 9-4 right now, 1 away from his ult.
My eyes are down.
30 seconds left.
Swing out forward. Heretics are here. It's just Woot. Benji Fishy playing backside. The trip's a little bit of safety, a little bit of cover, but now Texture understanding where his prey lays. And with 10 seconds left, they've cracked the thing wide open.
10 seconds left.
So patient, so precise, waiting for the double swing. Texture, he crept up forward. I mean, they knew off of that satchel of Woot that there's a player in elbow. And they're not making mistakes this time. They're swinging together. The fundamentals are in full effect.
The mistakes that we saw on Ascent gone.
A distant memory.
And obviously they looked so clean on Lotus. You wouldn't think, you wouldn't suggest that they would rear their ugly heads once more. This has been as clean as you could possibly ask for Gen G.
One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is ready.
They're hunting. They're playing everything by the book. Everything is considered.
The economy is just insane right now for Gen G. they can probably buy for the rest of the half. Every gun taken away from Team Heretics. And it's a scrappy buy, if there even is one.
I've got your track. You take a look at this one more time. Yeah,
he's on a different level.
It's just ridiculous.
That's that slow creep up I was talking about.
Yeah.
And then the wide swing, changing the angle, the perception of how you're actually swinging.
Dre, it really feels like Heretics have lost control of the situation. Second timeout burned, much like we saw on Lotus.
Just nothing left in the tank. Nothing at all. Not even a fight.
To have made it this far and to fall this short would be devastating. And so Heretics will have to dig deep. They'll have to find a way to turn Embers into something more. The problem is the fire of Heretics has been cold for a long time now.
Texture on this map. He's been the one holding the torch for his team, leading them to victory so far. A 7-1 half. And 4 ultimates online. It's gonna be another B main approach. This time, Karen is gonna lock down mid. So it's a little bit of a new look. That B main room, but no satchel to follow up this time. And it's a change of pace. Gen G have been putting on so much pressure, and this time they just freeze off the rip of the round. Waiting for any type of aggression from Heretics, waiting for any info. That flash gets no value, and the punish is there for Texture.
What a beautiful call.
Munchkin.
I know exactly where you are.
He's been so great this entire tournament, this entire year.
They have so much of an advantage right now in every single facet of the game. They're perfectly okay with investing a Cypher ult right now.
And as all this sound is being made water, Munchkin just walks out B and he's gonna call them back. Yo, I got B, guys. It's as by the book, it's as clinical as it could possibly be.
Boo taking the head off of Lakia there will keep things interesting, I suppose, but again, min-maxing the orbs, getting everything they want, and then some.
30 seconds left.
This call, I mean, this round from beginning to end was a beautiful display of calling.
The only thing Heretics have going for them right now is hope.
And hope dies last. But it's on. I mean, it's on a lifeline. Paranoia out. Heretics all huddled up in heaven, waiting for the flash to come through, waiting for the swing to connect, and yes, a couple of kills have been found. But is there enough time to make this happen? A 2v2, Munchkin and Karen trying to stabilize the situation. Boo will fall, Patatek's left alone. And much like has been the case this series, Heretics get to the doorstep of something special, and the door is slammed in their faces.
Just everything right now. Gen G are on the top. They are supreme.
What a performance from Gen G. What a performance from Texture. 11-6 right now. Excellence embodied. Greatness personified.
They've been raining terror all over on this map. The last 2 maps. One of the most dominant split attack sides I've seen.
And there might be more to come. The need for a gun round success has already started off on the wrong foot.
B is completely busted wide open.
There's no real chance to even fight back. They don't even have a chance to try to deny the hit. Because circles are being run around them.
Welcome to my world.
What a pit. Look at how deep that goes. It doesn't get much easier than this. A little bit of pressure will be alleviated, yes, but another 2v4. Another seemingly hopeless situation. And another punctuation mark for Gen.G.
We're here
Doug.
because we're the best.
Last time Gen.G played this map at an international, they were on the receiving end of an absolute cinema. Now they have created their own. All bases covered.
Hit you with a little more history. The last time EMEA as a region lost a best of 5 on international soil to another region, it was in Iceland. That was so long ago. And now Gen.G have the opportunity to do something really special in a number of different ways. Another change of pace. Another ridiculous call. And the doubt that creeps in.
Oh my gosh.
For Heretics.
It's a terrible feeling. You're already losing 9-1, and these guys are playing this slow. It's kind of like rubbing dirt in a wound.
Cage triggered.
And now a confident call to arms for Gen.G as they turn their attention towards A. Perhaps the first time they'll be able to fight back, as there is some presence here on the site, but they don't really have the guns to do it.
If Gen.G transition into B heaven and use the showstopper, I'm gonna lose it, Doug. Because that would be the perfect call.
Cam's cleared and Rians has to give some of the space back up, but and you can tell it's such a miserable spot to be in because you want to try to fight back. You want to try to make something happen.
30 seconds
There's the rollout. Texture pushing forward in the pit now. Oh, he's going to get dropped. The fuse is extinguished as Patatek gets 2. No joy. Meteor will fall as well. That's the round they win. A MasterCard thrifty for Heretics as they get their second round on the board.
Last round before the switch.
Gen.G decide to fight fire with fire in that round, using the showstopper to try to catch off Patatek. But that sight trip, that little change, it finally gave some value to the anchors of that A site.
What a snap from the kid.
Good work.
Come on, please.
They gotta win anything. They gotta win every round they can get.
You heard Rians there trying to will him across the finish line, trying to force some fight. And in the 11th hour, they have to find a way to convert. Heretics in such a tough spot here. Rians has his Seekers. They're already seeing him satchel forward, back towards B. BenjiFishy's doing the best he can to keep him back. They've drawn the paranoia out, though. Now Gen.G can flip the map once more.
That Omen ult is going to have Team Heretics guessing about where he could be. That's why you saw BenjiFishy clearing out all backside. They know now that he's not on the flank.
The smoke will cover the trip. If Gen.G want to go forward mid, they're going to have to deal with that. The truth is, they have a couple of ways to go about it as well, should they choose to do so. And meanwhile, for Heretics, as you see a couple of members anchored on B, eyes rise to turn tides. They have to find success here. Meanwhile, what a call and what a play from Munchkin. If he's able to get anything, any kill here, it's massive.
30 seconds left.
And he very well might do so. He's challenging Woot. Meanwhile, the hit on the other side, the paranoia is out. Boo keeping the line.
Spike down.
Holding them back.
Cover going
and yeah, they've dealt with him, but you didn't consider BenjiFishy. 13 seconds left. The spike is out of reach. Munchkin thought he was the one making a play. He was the one drawing misdirection on the other side of the map, and he was wrong. Heretics will get to 3.
What a close to the half for Heretics. And now they're hoping for that 9-3 curse.
My camera is destroyed.
Good off angle from Boo. Good bait setup to secure the last round of the half.
One enemy remaining.
They may need more than a curse to do this, because those don't seem to exist on international soil on the big stages. Yinsu, take it away.
It seems like Gen.G here, they're not going to let what happened in Madrid happen to them once again. Mimi, Kakuka, and Josh, a beautiful start for them.
It's been absolutely incredible from them thus far. They come out onto a map that they have barely played, they change their composition, and Josh, the prep has looked on point. I mean, these A executes were excellent.
I mean, this nade is so key to breaking all the trips, allows a dive path forward to this spot here, and he was able to predict the spot, the reposition for Benji Fishy here.
And time again, it was so overwhelming for the side of Heretics, the way that Gen.G was putting pressure around the map, the way that every single piece of their utility had a very, very dedicated purpose. A 9-3 half on, as you're saying, Mimi, a map that they shouldn't be as comfortable, and 4 rounds away from that trophy.
They are, but for Team Heretics, they have been on the receiving end of so many comebacks, getting reverse swept in the EMEA final, losing an 11-2 up against G2. There have been so many moments where they have let it slip, but they've given themselves an opportunity at the end, winning at least 3 rounds. If they can get this pistol, there's still a chance for this team on this miraculous run to lift the trophy.
Josh, imagine you were that coach. What would you say right now to the Heretics, to los niños, to make this comeback happen?
I would tell them believe in the game plan, believe in each other, win this pistol and make it happen.
All right, you heard it from Josh. Believe in the game plan, believe in each other, win this pistol, and maybe Heretics will have a chance. But Gen.G, they lost once already this year on the international stage in a grand final. Doug and Baby Bay, something is in the air here. It feels like they're not about to let this one slip again.
That certainly seems to be the case, Yinsu. I mean, this is a brutal spot to be in. Heretics have to find some success here. We often talk about how important pistols are. This very well may be the biggest they have ever played.
You imagine they're going to want to convert this round. And for Heretics, the pressure, it's unsurmountable. If you make one mistake, Gen.G can run away with this thing. They can wash you like they did on the last map, 13-4 on Lotus.
They can wash you like they did in the first half. You've got to believe, though. And honestly, comebacks of this magnitude don't start in the server. They start in the mind. They start in the mental. All of the questions around how much is left in the tank for Heretics are coming to a head. They're demanding an answer right now. Heretics deciding to turn towards B. The paranoia is out, all of the utility to try to obfuscate what their approach is. And Woot and Benji Fishy able to get a couple here, but Meteor and Lakia on the trade. Threes apiece, everyone is here. As again, utility becomes a problem, and Woot cannot convert. Gen.G will get to 10.
Meteor the anchor. The longest standing member of this roster, remember that. 14-7 on this map of split. He's been biding his time, and he's looked so good on these pistol rounds. They can feel it. It's so close.
I get it. I get the pop-off, man. That pistol almost secures it. But be careful. When you think it's in hand is when things slip out of grasp, out of reach. Heretics choosing not to invest very much. 4 sheriffs, excuse me.
But
and
no
a
armor.
stroll up mid. Woot's gonna be there on the trade, but Texture dropping 2. Overwhelmed by the swing, but Lakia is the cover. Lakia is the backup, and Lakia is down 2. We warned about this. We warned about the possibility of being so close, yet so far, Boo will fall. Now Pad Attack and Rians have to turn their attention towards B, and of course, they're already here. Karen's waiting, posted up like a watchman backside.
And he's been so cold in these moments when he's anchoring. He doesn't panic when he gets double swung. He commits to one of the kills, but he's moving.
He's alone here and gets them both. Gen.G will get to 11, now 2 steps away.
It got scary. But Gen.G secured the round. They brought it back. 2v3. That opener from Woot. That was so clean. The double swing here. Texture and Lakia, they just couldn't connect. But Karen, he's been so stable all year. Such a great addition. And their fans can feel it.
Heretics is feeling a lot of the pressure here too. Look at how aggressive of an approach this has been from Gen G to start the round. What they were looking for, they have found. The orb in the hands of Texture, 3 away. And just like that, things are forced to slow down.
No sky flashes for Rians. Woot is gonna have a hard time entering. Boo is the only one that has a flash available for his side of the team.
Look at that triple stack on site. They're all here.
They're so ready to fight. They know they baited out both flashes.
Crosshair's trained. And this doesn't feel difficult for Gen G. They've handled this so well.
Oh, but they're backing off.
They've left Lakia alone.
An opening for Heretics.
He's on an island.
No way.
The flash on the other side of the cage. Oh, but he doesn't swing. Wisely takes a step back, but makes his presence known. Meanwhile, can Karen strike from the disciplined corner as they roll out onto the site? They're spotting one. And now they know. Gen G are trying to make this thing work. They're trying to fight him back with inferior weaponry, but with 13 seconds left, they've got to go. Heretics have no time to slow this
10
down.
seconds left.
Meteor's so far away. Of course, it's Texture to potentially secure the round. The spam's not going to connect.
One enemy remaining.
Patatek's left alone. Can Patatek deliver? With 8 bullets to his name, he too will crumble.
What a nice setup on site. Playing up in the beginning, baiting out a bunch of utility. Woot, he entered into that site with no flash and got punished for it. Lakia running him down like a dog. And the double swing. Finito, chef's kiss.
That close. 1 round away. No timeouts to call. Is this where the Heretic story ends? And is this where Gen G's begins? Looking to put the finishing touches on this now. Yeah, it's gone the distance. It's gone all 5. But you wouldn't believe it with how Gen G played these last couple of maps. Heretics have to make something happen here. The paranoia as they try to satchel out into heaven, but they've only gotten to mail.
Satchel out.
Texture forced to try to hold the line. Satchel traded. A nade as well. Karen falls. Lakia on the snap. Benji Fishy dead. They're trying to work their way in, and they cannot. And now it's on to Boo. He has the swing, and it's time to kiss the ring. Denied, no more. Deferred, no longer. Vindicated. Gen G stand on top of the world. They are your Masters Shanghai champions.
The crowd has been silenced, but the Valorant gods have not. The Gen G Emperors will go down in history as the first team in APAC to hoist an international trophy.
A final bow from Heretics. They arrived in Shanghai as Niños. But man, have we seen this team grow.
他们一路从 VCT 的第一赛段过关斩将，在上海与其他队伍同台竞技，并大放异彩。 现场的观众，请将掌声送给5位契约上海大师赛冠军郑钧。
Madrid.
HSK, when he made this roster, I didn't think he believed it would go this far. To get second in the first international and now get first, to one-up the mastermind behind this roster, giving players a chance that were counted out. Munchkin, the last piece to the puzzle, the IGL. What an amazing moment.
Think about how much something like that means for a player like Lakia. What a story he's had. Munchkin too. Texture. I mean, you go from top to bottom, and there's a little morsel in every single one that you know this is the sweetest they've had, man.
This is what everyone plays for. Moments like this.
And they did it their way. A stomp on the last two maps. They accelerated when they wanted to. They slowed down when the situation demanded it. They went to show that Heretics might be the future, and the future might be knocking, but for now, it's the old guard who stands tall.
What an insane series. From start to finish, being down 2-1. Losing the set the way that they lost it. And
what a sweet moment.
And the biggest sigh of relief. They finally have done it.
And they did it here. They did it their way. They got pushed. They got sent the distance. We're going to throw it to the Verizon post-match interview for the very last time.
Gen.G, they have done it. Back-to-back grand finalists, and this time they are the champion, guys. Give it up one more time for the champions of Masters Shanghai here. Now, before we get into our interview, I'd like to invite Anna Dolan and Leo Fire to come and congratulate our winners here. It's been a long, long road for them. They made it here flawlessly, may I add. After a heartbreak journey they had back in Madrid, they managed to come back. They get their redemption knock, and they get that beautiful trophy as well. We are going to ask you guys some questions and have an interview here. I'm, of course, joined by Luna, who's going to do some Chinese translation, and Jen, who's going to help me out with the Korean translations as well. I'm just going to start down the line here with you, Carol. Now, you played your first ever game, your debut in January 2023. That was not a very long time ago. I wanted to ask you, did you expect to lift such a big and important trophy so soon? And why do you think that you've managed to find so much success in such a short amount of time?
其实 Karen 选手是从2023年1月开始才开始正式步入了我们的无畏契约的道路，但是就能够在如此大的国际赛事上获得了人生当中的第一座奖杯，感受怎么样？以及你觉得为什么你能够拿成这样的成就呢？
1월에 처음 경기를 치르고 프로씬에 데뷔를 해서 이렇게 빨리 우승을 하고 좋은 결과를 얻어낼 수 있을 거라고 예상하셨는지 궁금하고요. 그리고 어떻게 이렇게 최고의 모습을 빠른 시간 안에 보여줄 수 있었을까요?
일단 1월에 처음에 들어왔을 때 저희가 스크림 하는 거 보고 이거 형들 진짜 잘한다. 이거 나만 더 잘해지면은 이제 진짜 이길 수 있겠다. 우승할 수 있겠다라는 생각을 늘 가지고 있었고요. 그리고 제가 이렇게까지 성장할 수 있었던 것은 아마 형들이 저를 믿고 이끌어주고 그리고 도움을 많이 줘서 제가 여기까지 올 수 있던 게 아닌지 그렇게 생각을 하고 있습니다.
When I first joined this team in January, I scrimmed with them. And after that one scrim, I automatically thought, you know what, we're going to be able to win this. So I always believed that we could do it. And I just feel like always, hats off to my teammates for leading me. I couldn't have done it without them. So it was them that kind of pushed me to be the better player, step up my game. And also, we did this together. So it's all up to, shout out to my teammates.
其实从我1月份刚开始入队之后，跟大家打的第一次训练赛，我就觉得大家真的做的都太棒了，我就相信我们能够拿到这样的胜利，而且也是队内的队员们、哥哥们一直在帮助着我们，我们齐心协力一起努力，所以也是他们一直帮助我成为一个更好的选手，我们才能够获得这样的成就。
Honestly, Karen, I think this is going to be first of many trophies for you and your teammates. Now, next Munchkin, I have to say there were a couple of moments today that it felt like perhaps what happened in Madrid might happen again here. But you guys made sure it didn't. So as the captain and the IGL of your team, I wanted to know, what did you say to your teammates? What did you do to make sure that you actually win the trophy this time?
오늘 경기를 치르면서 약간 마드리드 플래시백이 떠오르는 그런 순간들도 있었지만 오늘 우승을 하기 위해서 선수들에게 어떤 얘기를 해주면서 이끌어가려고 했나요?
오늘 저희 3세트 가장 자신 있는 부분 어센트 지고 저희가 마드리드 때 반복을 하지 않기 위해서 진짜 정말 후회 없는 경기 하지 않기 위해서 멘탈 잡으려고 노력했고 그리고 다 같이 그 안 될 것 같은 플레이도 다 되게 만들면서 모든 선수들이 너무 잘해줘가지고 진짜 너무 고맙습니다.
It's okay, Jen, take your time. This is a big moment.
After dropping Ascent, which was the map that we were most confident in and the map that we thought we were the strongest in, we tried to, rally the troops and keep the energy up because, we didn't want to repeat what happened in Madrid. And it was just us, a group effort to make sure that we create those plays that weren't, that we thought weren't possible, and we pushed through and finally lift the trophies.
刚刚的问题其实是问到说，作为队内的 IGL， 今天整个赛程可能在图2、图3的时候，会当让人想到可能在马德里的一些经历。那想他问他作为队内的 IGL 当时是怎么想的，是怎么稳住心态帮助大家拿回来的？那他的回答是，其实在我们丢失到了亚海全城我们最自信的一张图的时候，当时其实是有点慌的，但是我们努力的稳住心态，我们齐心协力去好好的去打，好好去做，因为我们不想让马德里的历史再次重演。我们真的是也是大家都打得很好嘛，所以我们才能够最后赢得了我们这座奖杯。
Well, next up, Meteor, you're a name that we've known for a very, very long time. It's not that you were recognized this year, but I did want to ask you because after playing for this long and after trying your best to win a trophy, how does it feel to finally be rewarded for your hard work?
메테오 선수 여기까지 오기 정말 오래 걸렸고 정말 힘들었잖아요. 오늘 드디어 우승이라는 타이틀을 해냈는데 지금 소감이 어떠신가요?
일단 우리 팀원들이랑 감코진들 너무 감사하고 그리고 제가 여기 있기까지 이제 바일 감독님 때문이라고 생각해서 드디어 약속 지켰습니다, 우승으로. 그리고 이제 한국에서 보고 계시는 분들 그리고 세계 각국에서 응원해 주시는 분들 다 감사합니다. 더 노력하겠습니다.
I would like to thank my teammates and the coaching staff, of course, first. And I would like to give out a shout out to Coach Bio, who made me the player that I am today. So to Coach Bio, I kept my promise by finally winning the trophy and becoming the champions. And also thank you to the fans who are cheering us, supporting us all the way through thick and thin. I really do appreciate it.
刚刚的问题其实是问到说，我们也知道他可能是经历了非常长的一段职业经历，才能够赢下这人生当中的第一座冠军的奖杯。想问他的感受怎么样？那他说，首先是非常感谢我的队员们以及我的教练组，尤其要感谢教练 Mile， 他一直对我的支持和鼓励，我也终于实现了我的诺言，获得了这座人生奖杯。当然，我要非常的感谢大家。
And speaking of, fulfilling your destiny, Lakia, you and Solo, you were there for the very first tournament we ever had on the global stage. You came close back then as well, but it felt like a really, really long journey for you to get back here. You had to go through tier 2 too. Did you ever imagine that this moment of you lifting a trophy would be like this, and how does it feel?
라키아 선수 솔로 감독님과 함께 발로란트 최초 국제대회에 출전을 했고 그리고 그때도 너무너무 우승과 가까이 있었는데 지금 이렇게 다시 국제전에 출전을 해서 우승 트로피를 들어 올릴 때까지 정말 많은 일들이 있었고 또 감내해야 했던 부분들도 많았잖아요. 지금 이 순간 어떻게 느끼고 계신가요?
제가 프로를 시작하고 이 트로피를 향해 달려왔었던 게 이루어져서 말로 없이 행복한 기분이고 지난 힘들었던 일들이 다 스쳐 지나가면서 결국에는 해냈기에 너무 행복하고요. 그리고 솔로 형에게 너무 감사하다고 전하고 싶고 저의 최고의 멘토이자 감사합니다. 사랑합니다.
Ever since I started my pro career in Valorant, it's been a long, tough journey and so many hurdles that I had to overcome. But the fact that I made it and the fact that I won the trophy today means a lot to me. And I would personally like to thank Solo for being a great mentor. And I would just like to tell him that, I appreciate him a lot.
其实刚刚的问题是问到说，我们也知道他可能在第一次和 Solo 教练一起出征的时候，出征国际赛事的时候就获得了非常不错的成绩。可在那之后，他可能去了4级联赛，经历了非常漫长的一段时间的沉淀。那今天获得了属于他们的冠军奖杯，感受怎么样？那他的回答是说，首先我觉得可能在我漫长的职业生涯里面，我经历了非常多的困难，但是我非常高兴，我终于克服了他们，以及现在能够达成这样的成就。我还是非常想要感谢 Solo 教练，他是我这个无畏缺人生道路上的一位导师吧，非常感谢他的帮助。然后我们也能终于走到这一步，我们也获得了奖杯，真的非常感谢。
Now to Texture, I think you've captured a lot of people's hearts with your personality, with your smiles, and with your crazy gameplay on the server as well. I think no matter what's going on stage, you're always smiling, and that attitude is very infectious to all of the fans here as well. So I gotta ask you, just how happy are you right now? How big of a smile are we gonna get out of you?
텍스처 선수 그동안 인게임에서 플레이도 그렇고 또 텍스처 선수의 평소 때 재미있는 모습 덕분에 팬들의 마음을 많이 훔친 것 같거든요. 지금 이렇게 드디어 챔피언이 됐는데 얼마나 기쁜지 들어보고 싶습니다.
와, 이게 뭐 말로 어떻게 표현도 못하겠고 와, 트로피 전홈 저거 잡기 진짜 힘드네요. 예, 와 진짜 힘들었고 그만큼 너무 기쁜데 어떻게 표현을 해야 될지 모르겠어요. 그만큼 좋아요. 그리고 이제 제가 그때 킥오프 때도 우승을 하고 이제 아무 말도 못 했는데 이제 일단 오늘은 울지 않을 거고요. 그리고 일단 저희 항상 뒤에서 서포트 지원해 주시는 저희 회사 대표님, 단장님 그리고 저희 스폰서분들 그리고 또 당연히 많은 팬분들이 있기 때문에 저희가 있는 거고요. 너무너무 항상 진짜 감사합니다. 너무 감사드리고 또 이제 엄마한테 한 2년 동안 못 갔어요. 제가 연습을 한다고 솔직히 갈 수는 있었는데 제가 안 가는데 내 이것 때문에 안 갔다 엄마. 봐줄 거지? 그리고 그 스트리머 김대모 파이팅! 구칠이 갓데드 에피나 버니버니 하여튼 IM 애들 파이팅 됐지 이 새끼들은 네? 인파도 파이팅
Oh man, it feels unreal. No words can describe how I feel. That trophy right there, I've been chasing it forever. Why is it so tough to ever lift the trophy? But at the end, it was also worth it. And I would like to thank the org, the head of Genji, and also the GM, and also to the fans that supported us so much. And also, I would like to thank my mom because I wasn't able to go see her for 2 years because I was too busy screaming and practicing, trying to get my hands on the trophy. But hopefully to Mom, it was worth it for her. It was definitely worth it for me. And I didn't get to thank a lot of people in kickoff when we won. So there you go. But no tears will be shed tonight. I won't cry today.
刚才的问题其实提到，我们知道 Tax 选手以他的非常灿烂的笑容和非常迷人的性格，收获了大家非常多的喜爱嘛，不管是游戏内还是游戏外，所以想让他表现一下自己现在究竟有多开心呢？首先他会说，他觉得不知道该用什么语言来表达他现在的心情了，真的非常的开心，非常的激动。看着那座奖杯，他好像突然明白了自己一直以来经历的这些努力都是为了什么，但是他觉得非常的值得，即使这个过程非常的辛苦。但是首先呢，他还是想要非常感谢一下队内的，不管是他的队员啊，还是他的教练以及赞助商等等的各位帮助过，好，以及各位粉丝，还有呢，他非常想要谢谢他的妈妈，因为他一直在非常的努力训练，可能已经有2年之久没有见到他的妈妈了，也非常感谢他们，以及还想很多感谢从 kick off 开始就一直帮助他们的人。
I have to speak to you now, Solo, because you are not just the Korean FPS legend. I don't think anybody can have a conversation about FPS in Korea without mentioning your name, Solo. And obviously, you heard your players. They like to thank you. You know, they attribute their success to you. So I wanted to ask you, what's it like to kind of harbor the future of Korean FPS?
솔로 감독님, 한국 FPS의 레전드이자 거장이시잖아요. 그리고 선수들도 이제 굉장히 감독님께 감사하다는 말을 많이 하고 있는데 이제 이렇게 감독으로서 한국 FPS계를 끌어가고 또 이렇게 선수들을 양육해 나가면서 미래를 준비하는 기분이 어떠신가요?
사실 뭐 제가 뛰어서 게임을 못하지만 뭐 저의 능력이나 뭐 저희 HSK 코치의 능력이 뭐 좋으면 더 좋겠지만 그냥 선수들이 대회 때 잘하는 거 보면은 너무너무 기분이 좋아요. 선수 때랑은 다른 기분, 약간 그런 기분이라 그냥 계속 잘했으면 좋겠습니다. 저희 선수들. 네. 그리고 좀 다른 말 해도 되나요? 좀 긴데? 제가 세계 대회를 딱 14년 만에 14년에 중국의 항저우에서 대회를 했었거든요. 그때 대회하고 우승하고 이제 14년 만에 이제 선수가 아닌 감독으로 우승했는데 그래서 약간 전 멤버들이 좀 생각나는 것 같아요. DRX의 뭐 터미, 글로우, 페리, 바일 네, 이렇게 좀 더 많이 생각이 나는 것 같고 그리고 저희 덴지 아놀드 대표님 감사하고 폴님 감사합니다. 에릭님 감사하고 영철님 그다음에 종민 PD님 감사합니다. 그리고 마지막으로 저를 믿고 저희 감독직에 맡겨주신 이지훈 단장님께 감사드린다는 말씀하고 싶습니다. 감사합니다. 마지막으로 우리 HSK 코치 진짜 고생 많이 했거든요. 저 이 공을 HSK 코치한테 돌리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Although I'm not competing as a player, it's just so wholesome to be able to make history in Valorant with these players. And you know, of course, we have great coaching staff with HSK and myself trying to help the team a lot. But when I watch our players compete on the stage doing incredible things, it just makes me feel so good and so elated. And it's just a completely different feeling than when I used to compete. But I would also like to add that the last time I competed in an international tournament and won the international tournament, that was 14 years ago in China, Hangzhou. And this moment really makes me miss and think of all the players that were with me, Perry, Bio, Glow, and Termi. So I would like to say thank you to them. And also thank you to the org, Arnold Ha, Easy Hoon, and everybody, the manager, the social contents creator as well. And it's just such a great feeling to be able to do this all together. And I would just like to say thank you to everyone.
刚刚的问题是，可能之前 Solo 教练也是提到 FPS 不得不提的一位传奇人物。那他现在可能不是以选手的身份，而是以教练的身份，能够帮助这么强的一支队伍获得冠军，感受怎么样呢？那他的答案是，可能是现在我不是以选手的身份站在舞台上，但是能够看到他们夺冠，我真的感觉到非常的开心，非常的兴奋。有时候和我们的教练组一起看着他们在舞台上打比赛，我会觉得这是一种完全不一样的感觉，但是我同样的感受到了那种兴高采烈、那种兴奋的感觉，以及说我可能还想要再去。感谢非常多的人，因为这次旅程可能让我回想起了14年前我第一次来到杭州去打一次国际赛事的时候那种感觉，我非常要感谢那时候的非常多的队友，以及我很想感谢现在队内的不管是经理还是运营，感谢你们的支持和帮助。
And then last but not least, HSK, I have to ask you a question as well because I feel like you are such an underappreciated member of this team. You deserve every bit of success they have as well. So I wanted to ask you, after all of the effort you put in, the sacrifices you made, what does it mean to win this trophy alongside your boys?
감독님 옆에 계신 HSK 코치님, 이번 우승에 많은 공이 있는 것 같아요. 좀 이렇게 팀원들과 그리고 솔로 감독님과 함께 드디어 우승을 하게 됐는데 코치님께는 어떤 의미일까요?
일단 이렇게 한국팀에 와서 딱 전부 다 간절한 사람들만 왔다고 생각하거든요, 젠지에는. 그래서 더욱더 뜻깊은 것 같아요. 사실 이 선수들 전부 다 예전부터 알고 있었는데 이렇게 한 팀에 한 번쯤 모일 수 있을까 이 생각은 하긴 했는데 실제로 이렇게 모이게 됐고 그리고 모이고 나서 연습도 정말 열심히 하고 이렇게 이루게 되어가지고 정말 너무 기쁩니다. 감사합니다.
When I first joined this Korean roster, all of us, we were just a group of people who were desperate to have a chance to prove ourselves. And that made us push more and work really hard. As we said, we don't slack off. And it just means a lot to me to be able to do this with the guys alongside me because I know we've been pushing ourselves and putting in a lot of work just to prove a point and show the world what we can do. So it definitely does mean a lot to me.
想要问一下，就是能够跟大家一起赢下今天的这场比赛，赢下冠军奖杯，感受怎么样？那他的回答是，其实我们整个不管团队里面所有的人，我们都非常的渴望能够获得这场比赛的胜利，拿下这座奖杯。所以我们真的是非常非常努力，夜以继日的去练习了。那今天也终于证明了我们向全世界证明了我们能够达到什么样的水平，我们有什么样的能力，最终赢了下来。
Thank you very much, Luna, for your translation. Thank you very much, Jen, as well, for yours. Everybody, one more time, your Masters Shanghai winners. It is HSK, Solo, Texture, Lakia, Meteor, Munchkin, and Karen.
谢谢。
Thank you.
谢谢。
Genji, the first Asian team to lift a global trophy in Valorant. They are your champions here in Shanghai. I'm Mimi, joined back on the desk by Kakuka, Achilleos, and Coach Josh Ortiz of G2. Seth, I want to start with you, because you have been rooting for this region, for this team, for so long, and they've finally broken the curse.
I literally fell to my knees just down there on the floor. Body was shaking, I couldn't hold anything. Like, my hands were just constantly shivering because I couldn't believe that they had actually done it in such dominant fashion. To see Genji be a team who was incredibly underrated at the start of the year, have very little expectations put on them, be doubted because HSK comes over to this squad after an absolute tragic year on DFM, to see them go into another grand final and then be able to close it out to get the first win